Right now, the affordability to buy a home anywhere in America is really tough, right? Housing prices are continuing to go up, so cost of buying a home is expensive. Rates aren't too low. They're still not as high as they used to be, but they're high. So when you combine that, a lot of people now, I've had conversations with people, I make so much money, I make this, or I want this amount of payment or this, and it's like, man, that's really out of my range. So they're kind of coming to me with different strategies. Now, there's different ways to work it, but at the end of the day, if something's this expensive and it costs this much money to finance it, at the end of the day, that payment's going to be high. So it's sometimes hard to fit a square peg in a round hole. So the one thing that I'm saying and that I can see right now that's really beneficial is buy downs. So there's permanent buy downs, temporary buy downs. Permanent buy downs is when you pay X amount of money at closing to get your rate down and it stays that rate for the life of the loan. Those are okay, but you don't get so much bang for your buck as a temporary buy down. A temporary buy down is when you buy the rate down for a certain period of time, then it changes. So most temporary buy downs are what they call a 3-2-1 buy down, 2-1 buy down, or 1-1 buy down. A 3-2-1 buy down means for the first year, your interest rate is 3% lower than the going rate. Second year is 2%, third year 1%, then on the fourth year it goes fully amortizing. So for example, let's say today's rate 6.5. If you can do a 3-2-1 buy down, so for the first year, your rate is 3.5%, 3% lower. That's a significant change in your mortgage payment. Then the second year it goes to 2% below, so 4.5%. Third year, 5.5%. Fourth year and on, 6.5%. So now that 6.5% on a $500,000 loan, you get a 3.5%. That's probably $1,000 to $1,200 difference in your payment. That's significant. Now it's more affordable. Now it's more manageable. Now you're able to maybe get into that home and work on it. But again, it can adjust. It goes in increments every year. A 2-1 buy down means the first year it's 2% below the interest rate. Then the second year, 1%, third year amortizing. So they are great programs. They're great right now. They're the most bang for your buck. Here's a catch though. Most lenders and most investors require that the seller or the lender or the realtor pay for it. The buyer cannot pay for it. Now, there might be nuances where they can, but 9 times out of 10, that's the challenge. And I'll tell you this right now, 3-2-1 buy downs, awesome, great deal. But on a $500,000 home, that might be anywhere from $20,000 to $22,000 that the seller has to pay. So now the seller's like, ooh, I'm not willing to pay that much. So maybe they're willing to give you 10 or 12. So you can't quite get a 3-2-1 buy down. Maybe you get a 2-1 buy down. Maybe the realtor can kick in. Maybe the lender can help. But usually they don't want the buyer covering that. Be wary of that. It's a great strategy right now. Kind of hard to do because again, most sellers aren't willing to give you 25 grand. Some will though, right? But that's a really great option right now to get into a home at a very cheap interest rate, at least for the first couple years versus, doing 6.5, having a high payment and trying to, finagle all your finances to make that work.